Hello. I wanted to record a note about healthcare and how positive things are going to be in the next couple of years, and hopefully for thousands of years, for Earth and for United States and everyone else. I just got finished with physical therapy, and so I was around a lot of people in pain, and I'm one of them. But it's a tennis elbow. It's not. I mean, there's people here that were in car crashes and all kinds of crazy stuff. And when I was checking out, I saw the little bill for United Healthcare, and I was thinking about what happened to the CEO. And there was a story of a man that had cancer, and Obamacare increased his cost by like 10,000%. It was like 185 a month, $1,000 deductible, to 1,200 a month, and 6,000 deductible. So he couldn't afford insurance because he didn't have that money. So he paid the IRS penalty for all those years and paid out of pocket for all his cancer treatments. It's crazy. I just wanted to share that how disingenuous the whole healthcare system is. I mean, individually, of course, there's lots of good doctors that try to help people. There's no question. There's a lot of heroes out there, and especially people who are not doctors, the ambulance drivers, even the staff that collects your payment. I mean, there's not evil people in the system. That's not the point. They're all good people, mostly. The problem is the system itself discourages solutions. I was going to say encourages pain and suffering. So basically what happens is there's no incentive to cure people. It's like this thing Elon reposted about the homeless NGOs. They're paid a certain amount of money per homeless person that they manage. So if there's 1,000, they're going to get X amount of dollars. Let's say 1,000 per person, so $1 million. 2,000, 2 million. So they're incentivized to make more homeless people. And that's the problem with the healthcare system. There's no incentive to cure people. And that's built into the system, whether it's by design, whether it's an evil conspiracy by the monopolies, the big pharma to make money, or it's just crappy. It doesn't matter. We need to fix it. We need to go to a health-based system. Like in Asia, there's this thing where you pay your doctor when you're healthy, and then when you're sick, you don't pay any bills. Imagine. That's an idea. Obviously, the details are going to be a lot more complicated than that. But one thing we can certainly say: eliminate the insurance industry. Eliminate it. Pay your providers directly. Forget the insurance companies. I had the same thing happen to me with Obamacare. I'm not really a big believer in. I had my dad convinced me just to get this catastrophic plan, which is basically it covers you in case of some severe injury, illness, hospitalization, car crash, stuff like this. But it doesn't cover like normal doctor's visits. And when I went to the doctor, I would just pay out of pocket like whatever it was, and that was fine. Because a doctor's visit back in like 2005 or whenever that was like $50 or 100 maybe if it was a nice place. Now it's like, my kid went to the dentist $560 for a cleaning that he didn't have any cavities. It took like 20 minutes, and insurance covers 100% of it. But something is really toxic in this whole thing. So when I had catastrophic, I would just go to the doctor, pay out of pocket for minor stuff. If I had a cold or something, I would buy the medicine. It was not covered under my plan. I would just pay for it, and that was fine. And I didn't have any like major health problems like diabetes or something like that. I was healthy. I was super healthy. My insurance, I got life insurance when I had a family, and life insurance said I'm like in the preferred elite. I got lower rates on life insurance because I was in the like 10th percentile of the healthiest people in the United States. Okay, so then Obamacare comes. You're legally required to get insurance. Catastrophic doesn't exist anymore. You can't get a catastrophic plan. I was paying in that time, and this was a long time ago, $450 a month for health insurance that had a huge deductible, and I never used it. And that time I never used it. It was crazy, and I had a copay, and it just, the whole system became corrupt. And these, like, United Healthcare made like $22 billion last year, something like that. It's all from pain and suffering. They are incentivized to make people suffer but not die. In other words, they want you to be just alive enough that they can rack up the expenses. It's like a toxic, it's an optimization algorithm. Healthy people, you can't charge for. Like, when I was healthy, when I had the catastrophic plan, I was not a potential customer for the healthcare industry. I was not paying them these billions in profits. Like, there was nothing wrong with me. So healthy people are not good for the healthcare industry. So you can see there's an inherent conflict of interest. So there's a couple things we can do. One, eliminate the insurance thing just completely. There doesn't need to be insurance. Two, make the whole thing free. Just make it free. I mean, it's not a competition. This is one thing where I'm a trader, and I believe in free markets. Okay, I don't believe in regulations or government intervention. But healthcare is one thing that should be free for everyone, like, no questions asked. And if it's subsidized by the government, and you're not going to question the costs of things, there's not going to be a competition to see how much they can charge for a test, or running tests that aren't necessary, or prescribing pills that aren't necessary. It's just going to be what's best for the patient. So I think that's really the only thing, one of the only things that should be free and subsidized by the federal government. That's the only thing. Schools should be decided by the states, or even at the county level, but that might be logistically a little challenging, but at least at the states. Just delete the Department of Education. I hope that this DOGE looks at things like this, and I think that's just common sense. You know, I'm a, like, healthy, normal guy. This is my experience. I had a bad experience. I don't, or say it differently, I don't know who had a good experience with Obamacare and with the whole healthcare system. Was it set up to create billionaires profiting from people's misery? I think it was. But it doesn't matter if it was or not. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it was just a mistake that they did this. It was stupidity. I think that's far-fetched. I think that's a conspiracy theory, but it doesn't matter. There's an easy way to fix it. Delete the insurance companies. You don't have to necessarily subsidize it at the federal level. There's other ways to go about that, but the point is, it should be free. It should be free. It could be like a quasi-governmental organization where everyone pays some insurance, like $100 a month or something, just nominal, and there's no plans. Everyone pays the same. It's just a flat rate. You're alive, you have a pulse, you pay $100. You get hit by a bus, everything is free. And it should be like that. And funerals too. The funeral industry, I mean, we can go on and on, but I hope that DOGE is going to look at stuff like this. And that's why I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, pretty much nobody watches my videos anyway, so this is just me getting my message out there in the universe. It's karma. We need just to be positive. And the healthcare industry, it's like a virus that's feeding off our negative pain and suffering. And when I go into physical therapy, and it's a great clinic, they really fixed my tennis elbow, but the amount of money I'm paying for this, I mean, I can afford to, but most people, I mean, I don't know how that people deal with life, really, with inflation. And you know, it's just crazy. But inflation is really, it's a tax on the working class, is really what it is. It's not like, it's just, I hope that they do it. I hope they do it. And I hope that we're able to access some things like med beds. And I know so many people close to me that are that have some serious things. I don't have anything serious. My tennis elbow is, I mean, I can live with it. You know, it's not like I'm dying. But there's people who just wake up in pain every day, and it's so sad. But it's endemic. It's the system that's doing it, and that system can be changed. No one needs to be blamed. We don't have to have trials. I mean, forget this. Prosecute Fauci. I mean, who cares? Let's just move on. The best thing we can do is buy Fauci an island somewhere, and he can live there for the rest of his life with 100-foot yachts with Bill Gates and all of his friends, and they can just live there and drink margaritas all day. I mean, that's the best thing that can happen. We don't want to go through this whole like who did what. We all know what happened. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on, and that's not the first time. COVID is not the first time that something like this happened. There's been multiple attempts. It's just that COVID was the biggest and most well organized globally on the whole planet. And healthcare is really an important thing. I mean, there's also a lot of things that are going to be hopefully released, such as the med beds, but other things. In the Bible, it says that Moses lived to be 800,000 years old. So why not? Our DNA can handle it, believe me. And our planet can handle hundreds of billions of people could live here. The resource, we haven't even tapped a small percentage of the resources on planet Earth. Healthcare should be a priority. There's no shortage of resources. There's a shortage of, I don't want to say it. I don't like to be negative, okay? But there's obvious solutions to this that we can implement today. And where that starts is by understanding. And that's why I make this video. Even if 5 people watch it, you share it with your friends. And I'm not an influencer, but I'm not the only one talking like this. Now it's like the mainstream narrative. So I'm just contributing to that, and I love it, and I love what's going on. I feel great, even though my bones are just breaking from arthritis and tennis elbow and other stuff. I feel so positive about our future, and I just want to prioritize healthcare, because seeing people suffer, it just sucks. So that's all. Merry Christmas. And Frosty says Merry Christmas too.